Make sure my AI is on. Okay, this.
We
Oh, sorry. I was on mute. Good afternoon. I'm the chair for just this first part of the meeting until we elect a chair. So I'm going to start the meeting. I'd like to call to order the meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I am pleased to call this meeting of Warren T. Jackson Elementary School's Go Team to order at 3:07 p.m. I will act in the capacity of interim Go Team chair for this meeting. Our first order of business is to appoint an interim secretary and call roll. Tangi Sprinkle will serve as the interim secretary only for this meeting. Our official secretary for this school year will be elected during this meeting. The interim secretary will now take roll.
Okay. Allison Atwell.
I'm here.
Natalie Aid, present.
Present.
Jessica Cha, present. Yes. Lauren.
It can be hard to call things out and look at the camera, so if you don't mind just coming off mute and saying present.
Okay, so no Lauren Jones. Rayleigh Wren is here, Tangi Sprinkle, Kim Mack, and Izzy York is here. Okay, present. So yep, Lauren Jones. All right. Have we established a quorum? Yes.
Yes, for what we have right now, we have a quorum.
Okay. All right.
Okay, the quorum is present, so yes.
We need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you.
Izzy.
Thank you.
I'll second. Natalie.
Second, Natalie. Okay.
Okay. We will now move to filling vacant seats. There is an open community member seat and an open swing seat for this school year. Before I begin the process, I'd like to remind the Go team of the following. The principal brings forth the nominations for the vacant and open community seat. All Go team members have only one vote per seat. Individuals filling a vacant seat will serve until the conclusion of the seat's term. Individuals filling an open seat will serve for the full 2-year term. Upon approval, individuals are immediately full Go team members and may join the meeting. Okay. All right. We will begin by filling our vacant seats. These are seats which have been vacated prior to the end of the seat's term. Individuals appointing to the seat will serve until the end of the seat's term. I have the following nominations for our Go team's vacant seats. Okay, so I nominate Ben Hill for the vacant community seat. Does anyone have any comments or discussion about this nominee?
Do you mind just reading the bio, Allison, of everybody we're going to talk about? Just because some of us aren't
I,
familiar.
I don't have access to all the bios.
Or
I
just-
didn't save them and I'm managing all this, so I didn't save it. But Ben Hill is a parent at Jackson. He is a fifth grader and he has a first grader. All right, so we will now vote on the nomination of Ben Hill for the position of community seat. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. All opposed, please say nay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Leave your hand up, please, just a second. Natalie, is your hand up? Yes, okay.
I'm sorry, I just have a question. Is this the only person we're voting for, or are there?
For this one, this is the nomination that I nominate for.
Okay,
So that is who I've nominated. The swing seat is for there's other nominees for that.
Okay. All right, is there anybody opposing that vote? Nope, I think it was everybody.
And just so everybody knows, I'm not a voting member. I only vote if I think there's a tie.
Okay, anybody abstaining? I didn't see any. No. Okay, perfect. All right, Ben Hill.
Okay. Alrighty. Now we will fill open community member seats. This person will serve on the Go team for a full 2-year term. Do I have any nominations?
This is for the swing seat, right?
This is for, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say community swing seat. I'm sorry. I read the wrong slide. Yes, this person will also serve for 2 years. This is the open swing seat. And who has nominations for this seat?
I'll now nominate, oops,
Go ahead, Tangi.
Ruffin, Miss Ruffin.
Okay. All right. Do you want to tell us anything about Miss Ruffin?
She is a parent at Jackson. She has a middle schooler, a fifth grader, and a pre-K.
Pre-K.
Yep. I've taught her children, and I find her delightful to work with.
And she's also an attorney.
Oh, yes. Okay. Any other nominations?
I would like to nominate Jill McDougall
Okay.
for the swing seat. Jill's a Jackson parent too. She has lived in the neighborhood for about 7 years. She has a fourth grader and a second grader this year, and has been very active with me on the PTO board for the last few years. And she's actually off the board this year, but still looking to play an important role within the school. So she is really hoping to be a part of Go Team this next 2 years.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Hold on. Oh, I've got to read it. Okay. So we have two nominees.
Jonathan Jacobs had asked to also be included in this. He has 2 children in
Okay,
Jackson.
but are you nominating him? Because he can't be asked, he can't ask to be included, but if you are nominating him, then you can nominate him.
This is my problem is he sent you a copy of his bio and not me. I mean, I know him through, through our children, but I don't even have a copy of his bio. So I guess I wouldn't then because I
Okay.
don't know. Okay. But I wanted to give him a shot because he was interested and seems like a
Well,
good
I mean,
guy.
I understand that, but if you, if you're nominating somebody, that means probably the person that you would like to see on it. So if that's not how you feel,
Well, let me nominate him then. I do think he seems like a. Oh, and Amy also wanted to, I think she was seconding that too. She knows him much better than I, and she wanted to nominate him. So let's go ahead and put him on there.
So we have,
You are nominating, what's his name? Jonathan Jacobs.
okay, so we have Ruffin, McDougall, and Jacobs for the swing seat.
Okay. All right, so we will now proceed. Let me get my mouse in the right screen. We will now proceed to vote on the nominations for the swing seat member. As I call the nominee's name, please raise your hand or say A for the individual you support for the seat, okay? So, Camilla Ruffin, keep your hand up and keep your camera on and your hand up so that Tangi can see you. Camilla Ruffin.
Do we abstain now or later? I'm sorry, I'm going to abstain.
Okay, you can abstain.
Abstain. Okay, hold on just a second. Kim Sprinkle. Lauren Lauren, did you have your hand up or not? No? Okay. All right. McDougal?
Hold on.
Okay. Okay. And Jacobs? Okay. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on just a second.
Thanks,
Oh,
Nick.
Rayleigh abstained. I wanted to make sure I had 7. Okay, so Rayleigh. Okay, so it will be McDougal.
Okay, if you'll let me pause real quick, I want to go ahead and invite Ben and Jill into the meeting and send them my Zoom link. So we'll just take one quick pause while I do that.
Okay. All right, y'all, I'm going to just say it. I dropped my computer after school. I'm on a loaner, and the minutes were saved on the desktop, and I cannot get it to turn on. So I don't know what we're even going to do about that. I shouldn't save on the desktop, I know, but I do. And I can't even get it to turn on. So we can't, there are no minutes until I get my computer working. Maybe that's a sign I shouldn't be secretary anymore. Hint, hint, just
Oh, no, no, no.
that might be a hint that I
No,
shouldn't
no, no.
be. So I apologize. Okay, I'm in Kim's room because I had to get a loaner. So
All righty. What can you guys see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I'm like on the wrong slide though, so let me go. Okay, we filled the community seat, the swing seat. We can't approve the minutes at this time. Okay, now let me read where I am in the Roberts rules, guys. Okay. We don't have a student rep, can't approve the minutes. Okay, election of Go Team officers and representatives. We will now move to electing Go Teams officers and representatives. Before we begin the nominations, I'd like to remind the Go Team of the following. Nominations do not have to be seconded. A member may nominate themselves. A member may nominate more than one person for any position. A member may decline a nomination during the nomination process. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms in the same officer position at the same school. Nominees do not have to leave the room during the nomination period or when a vote is taken. If there is more than one nominee per elected office, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they should be elected to the seat. The newly elected officers will assume their positions starting at the conclusion of this meeting and serve until June 30th. All voting members have only one vote per seat. So right up here on the screen, what you see are the officers for the Go Team: chair, vice chair, secretary, cluster rep. The chair works with the Go Team to help create the Go Team agenda, leads the meetings, monitors Go Team compliance with open meeting laws and member training. The vice chair ensures compliance and acts as chair if the chair is absent. And then secretary takes minutes at meetings and also ensures compliance with open meeting laws by posting Go Team documents on the school's Go Team website. And then we have the cluster rep, and they attend the cluster advisory team meetings. They're about 3 times a year. And after those meetings, you report out about the cluster advisory team meeting. And they bring cluster report back to the Go Team and can hold an office
As
position.
long as he's okay.
So let me get back to my script. Okay, first we will elect the Go Team chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the chair are included. I've already said what they are. I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations. I would like to nominate Izzy York.
Got to it before me.
I will second.
They don't have to be seconded, so.
Okay.
Any
What-
other nominations? Izzy, are you declining?
No, it's fine. I'm happy to do it for Jackson.
Very good. Okay. So if there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have just one person being considered for the chair seat. The nominations for the chair seat is Izzy York. And at this time, I will offer, well, you don't have to speak because there's only one of you. So then we just need to take a vote. Please raise your hand to vote for Izzy York for chair of our Go Team.
Okay. Hooray.
Do I vote too, Tangi? I don't know if I do or not.
You can vote.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, you are it, Izzy.
Thanks, guys.
Listen, you were married to a Go Team chair. So
Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ask Joe for his notes.
now we will elect the Go Team's vice chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair include, but are not limited to, ensuring the Go Team follows parliamentary procedures, working with the principal and chair to develop meeting agendas, and acting as chair if the chair isn't present. I open the floor to receive vice chair nominations. You can nominate yourself if you want to do it. I promise these jobs are not super
Ray Lee. Oh,
involved.
excuse me.
Yeah.
I want to nominate myself for cluster rep, if that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sure. Okay.
I'll nominate myself.
Lauren
Okay,
Jones.
Lauren.
Lauren, I was going to do you cluster rep, but Lauren Jones, perfect.
Okay. If there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for vice chair seat. The nomination is Lauren Jones. Please raise your hand to vote for Lauren Jones for Go Team, if you so choose. Anybody abstaining? Okay.
Nope.
All right. Okay. Congratulations. You will serve as the Go Team vice chair for this school year, Lauren Jones.
Yay, Lauren.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now we will elect the Go Team secretary. As a reminder, this responsibility of the secretary include but are not limited to posting Go Team documents, taking minutes, and ensuring we're in compliance. I will now open the floor to receive secretary nominations. I nominate Tangi Sprinkle again.
I second.
Great.
Sorry, Tange.
You don't kill me, I was gonna say.
It's nice having you in the building and being the secretary.
You know, while you were gone, she tried to back out for a second.
I know. I know.
Have the minutes for today.
I know. Okay, so the nomination for secretary is Tangi Sprinkle. If you want to abstain, you can say abstain, but please raise your hand to vote for your choice for secretary of our Go team, Tangi Sprinkle. Okay. Very good. All right. Now we will elect Go Team's cluster rep. Cluster reps may also hold an officer position. As a reminder, the responsibility of the cluster rep include, but are not limited to, attending all the meetings for the cluster advisory team and reporting back to the Go Team. I do want to say that this is an important role, especially with the facilities master plan, long-range master plan. So this is an important role. We need somebody who will attend all of these meetings. Would anyone, I now open the floor to receive cluster rep nominations.
I'd like to nominate Rayleigh for cluster rep. Rayleigh Wren.
I nominate myself because I'm very honored and I would love to be in this position this year. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So Rayleigh is our cluster rep nominee. Please raise your hand to vote for Rayleigh, or you may abstain. And please say abstain if you are abstaining. Okay. Yay! Yay, everybody. All right. Congrats, Rayleigh. Okay. All right. Now let me go to the next slide. Went through these. All right. Public comment protocol. We will now move to our next item of business and reviewing and updating or confirming our Go Team's public comment protocol. Public comment opportunities are available for Go Teams to hear from interested members of the community from Section 3.4 of the Go Team Handbook. Opportunities for public comment shall be provided at least 4 times a year and noted on the Go Team's website and meeting agenda. Go Team members will not provide responses or engage in direct conversation during public comment. Each Go Team member will determine a consistent method for receiving public comments and for parents and other citizens to sign up to address the team. At least 20 minutes of time will be allotted for public comment for the public to make comments at the meetings where public comment is permitted. The public will receive at least 2 business days notice of the public comment protocol. Okay. So some of the tips for the public comment protocol from the Go Team Handbook. Are up on there on the screen. I think basically it's the same thing, but let me go ahead. It's a little bit longer. The Go Team is not required to schedule time for public comment at every meeting. Public comment should be scheduled for major action items that Go Team vote, have a Go Team vote, and will require public input or need public buy-in. Consider the schedule of the school community for those meetings that do allow public comment in order to give your community the chance to participate. Set up a specific time for your public comment period. You could allot a 20-minute segment on the agenda for public comment and allow each member of the public to have 2 minutes to speak during that segment. At the end of the public comment period, the chair should close public comment and move on to the next agenda item. Post a clear process for how individuals sign up or indicate they wish to speak. Go Team members should not respond during the public comment period. The public comment period is designed to gain input from the public, not for immediate responses by the Go Team to the public comment presented. The Go Team should listen attentively to all comments and take the summation of the comments into consideration when making decisions. Remind the public that a scheduled public comment period on the agenda is not the only means for providing input. The Go team should encourage the public to contact them via their APS email addresses. Emails sent to Go team members about school concerns are also considered public comment. If there are urgent matters that need the Go team's attention, the school can organize information sessions or the Go team can schedule separate public comment meetings to gather that information from stakeholders. All right, so let me see. We have a public comment protocol, and it is, hold on, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. I need to pull it up so you guys can see it. This is the requirements of the public, but we have one that's posted. Let me see if I can find it. Didn't realize it wasn't in the slideshow. Posted on our Go Team website, but I also have it here. So let me share it with you. Okay. Let me change the screen. There we go. Everybody can see that? Yep. Okay, Go Team public comment format, 20 minutes will be allotted for public opinion on 4 annual meetings as noted in the meeting schedule. Go Team members will not provide responses or engage in direct conversations during public comment. Those wishing to comment will sign up via Google form. Each speaker will be limited to 2 minutes. There will be a timekeeper. There will be a written follow-up to comments, questions addressed. It will be published and as addendum to the minutes. Community members may contact a Go Team member with questions or concerns. So those are pretty much the same as what the requirements are from the Go Team. Any suggestions or recommendation? Any changes for that? If not, we can just take a motion to adopt it.
Allison, I actually do have a question. Do you remember last year, and I'm not sure if this was part of the question, the public comment protocol, but we had that form where people like could input with their topics that they wanted to comment about. But is there a part of the protocol or a rule that says that they have to be on the call for us to read their comment out loud or to engage in their comment? Do you know what I'm talking about from last year?
Well, so the form is just a sign-up form and they just put the topic. So if somebody were to come to you and it was something that you want, you felt like needed to be brought to the Go Team, we just need to put it on the agenda.
Okay.
I put the link in the chat, and this goes to our Go Team website, and it has like our, what our public comment protocols are from last year on there. And then also the link to go to the Google form to sign up, if anyone wants to see that.
Awesome. Thank you.
So does a person have to be on the call for their question to be, I don't know if that was actually answered.
We don't answer any questions with public comment. Okay. It's kind of just an opportunity for somebody to get up and like speak about something that was going on, like, especially with like the facilities master plan, if somebody wanted to get up and speak their opinion about that. That type of thing, if there's something going on in school, they wanted us, like, because we are going to create this strategic plan together, and we have a strategic plan, we're going to update it. You guys are going to be part of approving the budget. So, somebody may have some kind of opinions about those things, like priorities they want in the strategic plan, or, feelings about maybe the budget once that kind of comes up. So those are two big things that sometimes we get comments at. But yeah, it's not a question and answer. It's like basically they're coming in, giving their opinion and their statements. I mean, they can ask a question, but we're just not going to answer it in the meeting.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Allison, just wanted to raise my hand as being here, and I do have a hard stop at 4 because of a work meeting.
Okay.
So
We
you let me
should-
know if this is a
Well-
good time to talk about this or not.
Well, it's later down in the agenda, but
Okay.
I'll try to rush.
Well, you don't have to rush.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, this is kind of just benign stuff we got to get through. So,
okay.
may I have an emotion to adopt this public comment protocol?
A motion.
A second?
Natalie seconds.
All in favor, please say A or raise your hand. Raise your hand. It's usually pretty easy. You see everybody? Is your hand up? I can't see you on my screen.
Yes.
Okay. And Jill, are you able to?
Sorry, I can't be on video at the moment, but it's not working on my phone, but yes,
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, anybody abstaining? No, okay. All right, so the Go Team calendar, I went ahead and just, in last year, we did it on Thursdays at 3. Sorry, went too fast. Keep doing this. So I just looked at the calendar and I picked a date for September, October, November, January, February, and March. So, at the beginning of the year, I put 2 public comments because that's a lot of times when there's things that people, want to do public comment, things, going on or they're learning about. So they might want to do public comment. So I made the 18th of September and the 23rd of October public comments. But is that 23rd, is that fall break? I don't think it is.
It's not. Fall breaks the
Oh.
week before.
It is
Okay,
not.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the January meeting is when I should have my budget by then, so January 22nd. That would be the initial introduction to my budget for the next fiscal year. And then February would be another budget kind of talk. And then I think we vote on the budget in February. And then in March, we kind of just circle back around about everything that was approved by, because we vote on it and then it has to be approved by, Atlanta Public Schools.
Do you have that February date? I'm just looking for when winter break is.
It's not winter break, and they wanted it earlier than
Okay.
because they asked for an early February meeting. So
Got it.
that's why I picked that one. I initially had it on that break, and I was like, oh, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, cool.
So we can accept those days, or if anybody has, obviously we have to have a quorum at every meeting. So that is generally our goal. We had no problems with that last year. So if anybody has any strong opinions about this is the time to speak. Just so you know, we are required to have 6 meetings, business meetings a year. This is an org meeting. It's not a business meeting. So the 6 business meetings are those dates. And then, of course, we're required to have 4 for public comment. This meeting is recorded. It is streamed. And they're not allowed to be during the school day. We can have in-person meetings or hybrid meetings. That is allowed. We just have not tried that yet. So I have given some recommendations. Now we've done that. Okay. So anybody have anything to say about these dates? Okay. So I make a motion to approve the calendar, or may I have a motion to approve the calendar?
Motion to approve the calendar.
Okay. A second?
I'll second.
All right. I'll raise your hand in favor. If you're opposed, please say you abstain.
Aye.
Okay. Everybody, do you get everybody, Tangi?
My
Laura-
hand is raised.
Lauren, I can't. Lauren Jones, are you on there still?
Yeah, I am.
You approved?
I'm good. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're good.
Okay, now we're going to go through the Go Team norms real quick. Let me get back to that screen. Okay. All right, then these are the Go Team norms. They're the same as the ones that we adopted last year. This is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. We will be fully present. We will follow the agenda as noted to the public and stay on task. We will be respectful of each other at all times. We will be open-minded. We invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We will respect all ideas and assume good intentions. We will approach, differences of opinion with curiosity. Okay, let me find my script.
Also, I'm still on the public comment screen. Is anybody else, or it could just be me?
Oh, let me change it. I apologize.
No, I'm
It's
still on
because
there.
I showed you the public comment. I got to change my, hold on, share.
Sometimes it could just, user error, right? But
yeah. Oh, I've got too many screens in front of me. I make my life complicated. Okay.
that looks better.
So does anyone have any changes to these norms for our meetings? Okay, may I have a motion to adopt these norms for our Go Team?
Motion
I'll
to
motion,
adopt.
Lauren.
Okay, a second? Okay. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? All right, anybody abstaining? Okay. All right.
Can I confirm real fast? That was Lauren and Natalie. Lauren,
Yes.
okay, just make sure. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to skip to Paul's part if that's okay, because I know he's got to go. Let me get up here. Okay. All right, Paul, you got the floor.
Thank you. Well, it's good to see you all again. This was great. And for those that don't know me, I'm Paul Dobish. Was on the Go Team, and now I am on this long range facilities planning task force. So is everyone pretty familiar with this? Does anybody not know what this is at all? Everybody kind of knows. Well, I'm not sure. I'm happy to answer questions. I'll kind of tell you what it's been like so far and where I see the major impacts in, I guess, our cluster and then certainly our school. It's pretty on the nose that we will not be able to operate dual campuses going forward. Now, this isn't going to happen overnight. This is probably going to take 4 to 5 years to really kind of work through. But and again, those of us on this task force, we are not empowered to make the decisions around this stuff. We're only asked to provide input and guidance on it. So, don't kill the messenger on this stuff. But, I sent everyone on the Go Team just now a link to where these documents are on the APS website. And there's a bunch of them out there. So all the presentations that we've gone over, as well as any of the flyers that promote the public engagement opportunities, like there's another one later this month. They're all out there. Let me know if you have trouble finding anything or if you need any other information. But it's interesting. Like you'll see in one of the decks that's the actual it's red and black, called Comprehensive Long Range Facilities Plan. On the last page, under the options framework, you'll see it's like unify dual campuses. So it says unify dual campus schools. So that's probably the biggest impact on us, is that where the conversations are going, for if you're wondering kind of what that means, it doesn't mean any schools will be closed. They're not interested in closing any school. They are interested in repurposing any of these facilities. So what does that mean? it means potentially the main campus, and I'm just spitballing ideas here. None of this has been decided yet, but potentially the main campus could be expanded and become a K through 8, or the well, we know Sutton is on the list as well, right? Because Sutton has the 6th grade center and then the 7th and 8th. So that's what they want to get away from, is any of these schools that have multiple campuses to span this grade progression. So Sutton is obviously in the crosshairs. Sarah Smith, Jackson, and there's one more I'm forgetting in the North Cluster.
Brandon. Morse
Yeah.
Brandon.
Morse Brandon. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So again, not interested in closing any facilities, but very interested in figuring out how to maximize these facilities. And it's interesting because they are not interested, unless it's a last resort, in redrawing any cluster boundaries. So the clusters should stay the same, although they're using this term 4 or 5 years out as a zone. So potentially go into a zone, and a student might have more than one school in their zone that they could go to. And there's, the big interest is obviously spreading students out a little bit across these schools to make sure that schools, and if you go through some of this documentation that I sent you, the thresholds they're trying to meet, and I'll see if I've got this real handy so it's easy for me to talk about it, but here it is. So there are some of these, they're like the guidance for school size standards. We know elementary schools need a minimum enrollment capacity of about 500. Below that, you really can't have much of a school because you don't get the money to have decent programs. Middle schools need to have about 1,000. High schools need to have about 1,200. So it's going to be interesting because where I get a little confused, to be honest with you, is one of their concerns is that North Atlanta High School, obviously in our cluster, will be beyond 100% capacity over the next 5 years. At the same time, we were shown, and this should all again be out there, we were shown these graphs that you don't have to see the details. All you have to know is when we're moving from, across time from red to blue, that is a reduction in live-in enrollment in any of these school districts. Basically, any of these. This is the North Atlanta cluster, various schools. So what we're seeing is declining enrollment based on declining birth rates. So birth rates have been declining since, I think, 1954. So they're not declining all that fast, but they are measurably declining. And so what's interesting is, on the one hand, they're worried about North Atlanta being over capacity, but at the same time, they're trying to go through this long range facilities plan to make sure that these schools that have 450 and are 450 students attending them or less and are already massively underfunded have no programs.
There's a bunch of them that come out pre-K classes,
right? And don't dwindle even lower, right? So how do we spread these kids out? So we've spent a lot of time going over the data and understanding what the challenges are, because in a way it feels like a big shell game, right? I mean, they're not really interested. It doesn't sound like, I guess we could build new schools, and they're open to hearing that, but they're really trying to use the kind of the footprint we have. It sounds like not closing anything again, but how do you create these equitable programs and create these paths of programs through the school system across these various schools? Obviously, the challenges we have in the North Atlanta cluster are very different than the challenges that the southern clusters face and in the inner city. There are those, like I mentioned, some of those elementary schools that only have 450 or 400 students in them, and then they don't have the funding for good programs. And obviously, without good programs, you're not going to get great enrollment. So they're kind of just stuck, right? They can't attract the students, But if they don't attract the students, they can't get the money to have the good programs. So they're kind of stuck. So you couple, and why it feels like a bit of a shell game or almost impossible is no matter how we, look at this puzzle, some of the big challenges that we face is some of the challenges of living in Atlanta that we all know, like drive time, right? You can't really send kids to school 45 minutes away and stuff like that because of traffic in Atlanta. So how do you have schools that have great programs, enough attendance, facilities that match the programs, and are all have accessibility for students across all of Atlanta public schools? So it's going to be interesting to see. And I'll say one thing that's kind of interesting. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on other clusters because it's not relevant to obviously this school or this discussion, but it's interesting to see in the city, there's not many fans of the charter schools. They feel like those charter schools are actually taking those students and it's cannibalizing the student experience for those public school kids down there. I don't know how everybody feels about that here. We don't have as much of that here. But with several charter schools available down in town, closer to town, it's making more of an impact. So it keeps coming up. And I know some of those charter schools are below par in terms of performance. There's supposed to be measures that are taken. If that happens, I don't know if that'll happen. But if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. I don't have a ton of answers yet. Like I said, we've been using this period of time to really just kind of go through data, understand the challenges. We've gone through some light exercises where we just kind of ranked some issues as we saw them, for our North Atlanta cluster. But we haven't really gotten into solid recommendations. That's going to happen later this month.
And just so everybody knows, this is a till 2040 plan. So like Paul said, there will be some things that will happen, I think, initially the 27-28 school year, but this is a long range plan of implementation.
Yeah, probably safe to say all of our children will be out of Jackson by the time I think by the time this really takes shape.
Any discussion on what they do with the existing facilities as a neighbor to primary that I can see from my window?
Wait, I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? My volume was low.
Was there any talk about how they use some of those facilities that like the closing ones, the emerging schools?
No. I mean, but they're throwing all kinds of ideas out there. I mean, we know we need more attention on the trades. They probably think I'm crazy. I keep bringing it up. I think you look out to, Allison, to your point, out to 2040. As someone that follows artificial intelligence really closely, and I'm already watching the impact on these, white collar jobs that our school systems are kind of built and designed, right, to get kids ready for college. We ship them off to college and then they're supposed to go work for a big company. With those jobs already going away, by 2040, the work landscape could look so dramatically different that no matter what we do right now over the next 10 to 15 years could be massively obsolete and behind, right? So that's the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. And we know there's going to be more of a push towards the trades as these white collar jobs and more, quote unquote professional type jobs just vanish and become automated. How do we prepare kids for that? How do we prepare kids and educate them on a path that might not include college anymore? So, not to go down that rabbit hole, but it's the stuff that I'm, massively interested in and I think is going to have a big impact. So we shall see. So that, to answer your question a little bit, Natalie, is, should some of these facilities fit it and become like hubs for trades and stuff like that? So more of an investment in that type of education.
Yeah, I read somewhere too that they were talking about like cluster pre-K centers, like that was like one of the things somebody threw out. I read on the website.
Yeah, I think that was more of those southern clusters as well. It seems like there's a real lack of access to pre-K opportunities. I didn't hear that. I don't think I heard that much from our cluster.
Okay, there aren't any more questions. So, there was a report that was presented to the board on Monday, and you could probably find that in the board docs, but everything is also on the website Paul sent. They're going to start talking about what the options are to the public next week on August 18th. And then there are also several public meetings that you can go to. There's one on August 25th, October 20th, and November 10th. The virtual is noon time and the in-person is at 6 p.m. at the central office down on Trinity Avenue. Okay. The only thing I can say is like Paul said, like he's not voting on any of these. We aren't voting, like this isn't a go team gets to help vote. But if you have strong opinions or, obviously we all should be informed. I encourage you to attend these public meetings. All right. Thanks, Paul.
Do it. All right. Well, thank you all. Great seeing you. And hey, if you have any questions or whatever, you know how to find me.
Bye, Paul. We're still going to rely on you for Jackson updates, okay?
Okay. Yeah, no, well, yeah, let's connect on that after. We'll talk.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye. And then
Thanks,
the
Paul.
other thing I just wanted to add related to this topic was I don't know if anybody has seen the social media posts from APS today. I think today and yesterday, but there are new posts about what teachers and staff should know about the long range facilities planning and then what parents and students should know. Seems a little bit like damage control to me, but I think as people are talking about it more and as word is getting out about the efforts that are being put on this topic, there are some messages being put out by APS this week ahead of next week. So I would encourage everybody to go look at those and be familiar with the messaging.
Where did you say that was at, Izzy?
On social media, just on APS's, the APS update site.
Got you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to do principals update, which is next. And one of the things I just want to talk about is the new personal electronic device policy that APS Board of Education has adopted. It's going to, they're kind of taking some proactive steps since the state is about to also adopt a policy about this. But starting this school year, students will be asked to keep their phones up and away during the school day. The personal electronic device policy is a longstanding board policy designed to support a focused, respectful, and distraction-free learning environment for everyone. Next school year, in line with the new state law, which is House Bill 340, this will expand to include other personal devices like smartwatches, tablets, and headphones. We don't have this is not a big concern for us in terms of kids coming with their phones and being on them in class. We have always told our kids that the phones, they can bring their phones, but they need to be in backpacks and off or on do not disturb. But next year we will also be enforcing, obviously, the smartwatches that cannot also be worn by students. That is something I think we have more of is some kids with smartwatches, but we actually don't have a ton of that either. Any questions about that?
I have a question, and it's probably a next year question, but related to the smartwatches, because I know this has just been a topic in the like moms groups that I'm part of. I feel like that's coming, like more of that is coming to our, second, third grade, et cetera. Just wanted to know if it would be like no smartwatches at all, or like it must be in classroom mode or school. I don't even know what it's called, right? But
I think they just have to keep them in their backpack. It's generally
okay. So not available until the end of the day or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like none of that is really a big problem for us. I mean, it's very rarely, and it's usually fifth graders that have them and we have to ask them put away. But for the most part, our kids are good about it. And I think a lot of parents have moved away from getting their kids phones also. There's been so much posting about how bad that phones, electronics are for kids that I think our community generally does steer away from that till middle school. Okay, next on my update is our enrollment. So, if you were on the Go team last year, our budget projected us at 489, and we had a nice plump budget that let us do lots of things. The reality is that today, I think we're around we're around 455. So we are below our projections. And so what happens when we're below our projections, we do these counts. And after the 15th day of school, they use that enrollment to then determine if we're over enrollment, they will give us more money to use to, hire staff, or if we are under enrollment, they take money back from my budget. So this summer, I realized that our enrollment was not, having the traction that it needed to have, and that there was a good chance we were not going to be at the projection. And to be honest, we were considerably below it. So what actually was very fortunate is that the PE para that we were going to hire ended up declining very late. And then also we had a pre-K para position that was open. And so we actually moved the person that we hired for the media para we moved her to pre-K. The reason I did that is because I knew when they came back to me and were going to take money from my budget, that I was going to cut that media para job. And so that person would not have the position any longer. So since I had that open position, we did present it to the person that we had hired, and she was moved to pre-K. So with those two positions, I was able to bank $111,000. Plus, they also hold back money for this very thing. And so they held back from me almost $110,000. So currently right now, I think we're good in terms of a deficit. I think I'm hoping with that $221,000 that I have banked that I actually won't have any money taken from our, operating budget. So, and with, 450 students, it was looking like we were going to be about 11,000 in the red, which, I can manage that with our budget, especially because they came back late and late almost when school got out and gave me some more signature funding money. So that's it's good. I mean, it's disappointing that our enrollment just cannot get some traction. We were at 450 last year. We're at 450 now. So, obviously, our neighborhood is filled with lots of, I think, there's a lot of families that don't have school-aged children that live around here. And also just how the real estate market is changing and the size of the homes are changing, and they're building some pretty massive, expensive homes. It's just all of those things have impacted, I think, our community. So, my opinion, the plans that the district is making for North Atlanta in terms of, possibly, kind of structuring and having maybe an additional elementary school in North Atlanta and having dual campuses go away, it actually, I think, might be a positive for us as a school. I know people don't want to be on one campus, but I think if they restructure and we are zoned a little differently, it will actually be a plus for our school in terms of enrollment. So let me go to the next. Okay. So traffic's been a big conversation at main campus. So today I made the executive decision that we will no longer have our police officer at the top because it's not working for anybody. The idea is that she can help people get in and out of the campus. That really wasn't working because she was almost getting hit by cars trying to help people make left turns in and out. And then they were even going to stop the buses starting tomorrow from taking left turns, and they were going to do a different kind of route. But what basically happened is, in turn, then parents were in the issues at main campus are really about the commuters on Mount Perrin going up, they're traveling back and forth either into Buckhead or onto 75 or onto the private schools that are down Mount Perrin. So basically what happened once we were doing the right turns in and right turns out is we just had people doing U-turns in unsafe places, in driveways, going on cul-de-sacs, so it was just now we went from the commuters making our carpool so unsafe to then now we have, our own parents that are making it unsafe. So we're just going to pull her from being up there. And I think it will work itself out. I mean, over the years, we haven't always had consistent help up there. I think partly I've found out is because it is stressful to be up there, even for some of our former police officers that were up there. So, we didn't have anybody up there today at dismissal. It got slightly backed up, but not long. It was just a couple minutes backed up in the driveway. But other than that, I mean, what does back it up is the left people turning left, because that, obviously it's much harder to take a left than it is a right, but it's really minimal amount of time that it sometimes gets backed up. When it rains, it's a different story, but that's kind of where we are with that. And I think hopefully that will appease everybody. Obviously, once there's changes and this long range facilities plan, all that starts, becoming realities for certain schools. If it impacts us, they are going to have to really rethink some carpool, because right now we don't have, we have half of our campus here, and they're going to have to figure something out. But Mount Perrin is just a windy, narrow, unsafe road for like anybody to try to direct traffic out there. So that's kind of where we are now. And I think I made some people happy today because of that.
Miss Elwell, quick question. The communications that were going out to parents was no left turns, right? Is that still in effect, or has that changed now that there is no RSO?
He's not going to be out there to enforce it. So,
okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of like, what did you say to me, Isabel, today? Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
And I was like, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I think it's fine. If it's not helping the situation, we're just going to pull her off of it and just go back to kind of the way it was. So that's all I have about that. Primary is gold. I mean, it's working like clockwork over there. Parents have been awesome. Like last year we had a lot of issues with everybody wanting to park and walk their child up, which created real safety issues for those kids. But this year it's been great. We've got lots of people out there, adding those kindergarten paras to every classroom gives us more people that can be out there really helping get kids in and out of cars in morning and afternoon. So it's been the best it's ever been over there. It's really been great. So, all right, we did that slide. Any announcements?
Can I ask an SRO question?
Sure.
Just because, I know we all know Officer Knott as the main campus, like traffic cop, essentially. But of course, like her role as an SRO is way broader than that. Is there somewhere where we can find like a list of what SROs do for schools that we can share or communicate, like something where we can like do a little like positive press around like having these SROs and how it's such a benefit to our school and what they actually help with?
Sure. Yeah, I can find that.
Awesome.
She walks around the school a lot. She's been out on the playground a ton, which I think is really helpful.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's been out there, and she also watches the cameras all the time. She's doing all kinds of different things. And I think when we have the first meeting, we're going to have, I think, her pop in and,
General
talk.
membership.
Yeah. I think that's the meeting that Erin asked me for her to do that. But yeah, I'll find it. What she's all, she's polite police. She's part of Atlanta Police Department. And currently she's not necessarily our permanent one. So I don't know when they plan to tell us who the permanent ones are. Like, I don't know, all of those plans for safety and security, but right now Officer Knott is who we have here, and Officer Gibson at primary campus.
Awesome.
Okay.
A quick question about the enforcement of the school zones, because I have noticed a couple of walkers on Main now, and today when I started slowing down for the school zone, there was a guy 2 inches from, sorry, I'm doing a top hat drop off, someone 2 inches from my rear, and people who are, late to school. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to wait for you. Sorry. There's certain
We can't hear you,
light.
Natalie. I'm having
Sorry.
trouble understanding your question,
Don't go in
Natalie.
the door. Enforcement of the school zones.
That is, the police that enforce those, and that's why the Atlanta police were, supposed to be on Mount Perrin to try to get traffic to slow down and enforce that. But that is on the police forces to do that.
Can we ask for some help? Because people come cruising down North Side, slam on the brakes, and they don't respond.
Yeah, I've been doing that. That's what I've been doing for like 8 days, 9 days, is trying to get some support on Mount Perrin. And so we've had the Atlanta police out there some. I don't know. I'm at primary generally in the morning, so I don't know how much they've been out there, but they've been out there.
Okay, there's any help, or any step you need from parents to, shore up support for more police help out there, because people are just coming so fast and they're slamming on their brakes, and just with kids running, there's a walk who comes across Mount Perrin, and in general, people are just late for school at the other schools, and so they're just, these teenagers in these huge trucks are barreling down Mount Perrin, and anyway,
Yeah,
it'd be nice to have a little enforcement of them.
and that's exactly why our officer was, feeling so unsafe.
In danger.
Even when she's standing in the middle of the road, like there's people just, it's interesting because she is a cop. I mean, she's an Atlanta public school cop, but she is a cop. But I don't guess the commuters on Mount Perrin are into respecting that. I know the one day when I was here to check it out, and the Atlanta police came and sat towards Mount Perrin Parkway.
It was different.
Officer Knott said it was much different, and people were driving.
Very.
So
it was very, very different. So what can we do as parents?
I don't know what you can do, because the way they've made requests to the Atlanta police to come out, they've talked to them. There's the DOT has a ticket to look at possibly putting what are they called? Traffic tables, which traffic tables are wide speed bumps that have flat tops. So they, don't have that, hard impact like a true speed bump. But it does slow down traffic. So there is a ticket with the Atlanta DOT to maybe put that around in that school zone around there that would hopefully slow down some traffic.
And even just flashing lights on the school zone signs would be helpful, because people just don't see those signs anymore.
Are they not flashing?
I didn't see them flashing.
Okay, we'll see. I'll tell Mr. Sumas, who's kind of, my contact that I've been talking to, and he's the one that reaches out to City of Atlanta Police, and the DOT and all of that. I'll talk to him and tell him that those aren't flashing and that they really need to. There's terrible lighting out there. It's even worse once the daylight savings happens and all of that. So, but I'll ask him if about those and why they aren't flashing, because they should. They're there. They need to flash.
They need to flash, and then primary needs to get flashing lights. They don't have any.
So I tried to get flashing lights over there at primary, and I'll make that request again. And when I've made that request in the past as an assistant principal, and I think what they told me is that we didn't have enough students in that building, that you had to have, I can't remember what the threshold was, but maybe 350. And at the time we didn't have that many in there. But I mean, to me, I'm like, it's a school. It's a public school. It's filled with hundreds of children. Like, they should put one there. So I'll talk to Keith about both of those things and see what he can do, especially about the fact that we already have some installed that should be flashing.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else, guys? Oh, wait, let me see. Oh, got to do this. Save the date for the Go Team Summit, Saturday, September 27th, 8:30 to 2:30. That's an optional thing. You don't have to come to it. We can all go, but it's not mandatory. And then, okay, so Go Team members, you have to complete your training. You have to complete your orientation within 1 year of joining the team and must be renewed every 4 years. So that would be Ben and Jesse and Jill would need to do that. And they will send, like, Go Team's excellent at sending out information. So you'll definitely get information from them. Okay. All right. That's it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Yes, Angie.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah, forgot about that part. Thank you.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
All right. Thanks, guys.